I have other TV that's having it's a black screen issue. It's a Sylvania SLEDD5550 TV here. So it has the standby light does turn on, and when I put on the power button, it turns blue, but the screen remains black there. So it's either one of two issues. It's either your backlights or your main board or some other issue. So the first thing is just to remove the screws on the back. There's this little casing. Now this TV was really funny. It actually had a hidden screw underneath this kind of tape on the side. So with that up there, you can now remove the little cable that goes to the power button, and then we have access to that. This TV is actually quite basic. It has a main board with power board combined there, and then it has your TCON board as well. So, and then this is the wire that goes to the LED backlight. That's the red and black wire. I'll be testing out the backlights first, so we can disconnect it here, and then using an LED tester. Here I have, I'm injecting 122 volts using my LED tester. I also put a link in the description if you need this device. It's really handy for repairing TVs and such. And just the black on the black wire and the red on the red wire there. And then you can actually see a glow. You can actually see the backlights turn on. So if you turn off the light, you can actually see those little white little dots there. That means that the backlight is okay. So this has narrowed down the issue that it is indeed the power supply board. Now I plugged it in and I have the power button reconnected just so I can turn this on. So I'm just going to be measuring out some voltages on the main capacitor. That's right after a rectifier. This will convert it into DC voltage, and I'm measuring 385 volts. So that means that the primary side of the board is working, and then it converts into the secondary side that gives power supply to your CPU and all that stuff too. So just measuring the different voltages on there, we can try to trace out where the voltage is stopping. I know that the issue could be at the top where the LED driver is, but again, I'm not 100% sure what the issue is. So I can test. There's a little voltage regulator close to the CPU, and we're getting 3.3 volts. So the device is turning on. I actually do see the screen, so the TCON board is working there. It's something to do with the LED driver there. So I think we'll have to take this thing apart to have access to all the other components there. So I'm just taking off all the little ribbon cables and the speakers that go to this board here, so that I can have a look at the bottom and all that good stuff too. Now you can just order a brand new board, but I found that the boards were like 130 bucks, and for that price you might as well just get a new TV. So I'm actually trying to find the individual component that is the fault. The easiest components to test are these diodes. Just using a multimeter, you can test them out, and you shouldn't get a short. You should get a forward voltage there. There's also these surface mount diodes as well, these little black guides. And when I was measuring the one close to the LED driver, I was measuring basically a short. So my first thought was, this is the issue, because diodes should not have shorts at all. They just allow the current to go one way. So I'm going to be examining this diode to see if that was the culprit or not. So you never really know there, but there's other surface mount diode that's the same number, and I was measuring 0.6 volts forward voltage there. So I know that the same type of diode should have about the same reading, and the other one was not. So if you can look there, it's an M4F, that little symbol on there, and you can Google M4F datasheet just to figure out what that device is. So when I did that, it's basically a rectifier diode. And on the data sheet, after looking down, they give you some properties, so you could like order a new one if this was the bad component. But actually, this one goes 400 volts and it has, I believe, 30 amps reverse current and all that good stuff. But it actually ended up being that this device was okay. Now, how did I test that it was okay? What I did is I just flipped up one side of that diode there, and I just tested it, and I was getting the 0.6 for voltage there. And so that's what you kind of do sometimes, is you put it up. The reason why I was getting a short is actually there's like a very low resistor that's in parallel with that, and so that's why the reading was like that. So it's okay though. I retacked that on. I actually found out the issue was something to some other, it was a connection issue or there. I reflowed it. What I did is you just put the board in your oven, just remove the plastic on the bottom of it, and I put it in the oven for 10 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius, and that kind of reflowed the board, and then I popped it in, and then it started working again. So this issue does work quite a few times. It can be to do with the CPU not sending a signal to the LED driver or the LED driver board as well. But you can see that the TV is working. It could last several more years. We're not guaranteed how long this fix will work, but the TV is working now, and I ran the video for 3 hours, no issues whatsoever. And so, yeah, if you enjoy electronics and want to learn more about how to fix different devices, I do lots of repairs. So you can subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.